Let's get this party started. Okay, we in the house? I can't tell. Are we in the house? Are we in the house? Okay, it looks like we on. I love that. All right, let's get it. Let me call in on the live line. Check-in time, Rep Yo City.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you. Just hold
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Make sure you share the broadcast with somebody. Let them know we in the house.
Thank you. Please announce yourself. All participants are muted. Entry and exit tones are off.
All right. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. My name is Zeke Ali, and this morning I want to talk to you about winning, man. I believe that some of us don't understand how much winning is up to us. Every single year. I know we still got a couple months before the New Year's at the time I'm recording this, but you know, and I know every single year, everybody comes up with all these resolutions. Everybody comes up with all these goals. Yesterday we spent all this time talking about how to hold yourself accountable. But why were we having that discussion? Because listen, if New Year ran all year round, we'd be good. We get real hype in the new year. We get excited about the new possibilities, the new opportunities. If it lasted all year, we'd be good, man. But most people can only keep their resolutions going for the month of January. If January lasted 12 months, we'd be good. You can ask any gym owner about this, by the way, because all January, the gym is packed. And then by February, you can park right up front. You hear what I'm saying to you? So all I'm saying is, even though people tell you, how many of you have heard about how many days it takes to make a habit? Let me see it in the comments. How many days do you think it takes to make a habit? How many days do you think it takes to make a habit, y'all? Let me see it. What you got for me? How many days do you think it takes to make a habit? Hey, good morning, Nicole. Coach Anna in the house. Okay, Norman. Hopefully you can see now. Aisha, my man Dion in the building. What's up? How many days y'all think it takes to make a to make a habit? DJ Jamal. Allie's in the house. Vita Lachey. I mean, it's a great day out this thing. Let me see it. Okay, I'm seeing a bunch of people say 21 days. I'm seeing 21. Somebody's like more than 21. Over 30. Somebody said 30. Ah, Mimi's in the house. You get your coloring book, Mimi. I hope you did. I hope you enjoy it and post that thing. Mimi said 40. Chanel is like at least 21. Jennifer's like, resolutions ain't just for January. That's a good one. Let me see your guess and then give me a share. 21 days, 21. Crystal Clear is like as many as you need. All right, welcome YouTube. YouTube checking in. I love it. Shauna's like 21. Okay. So I'm seeing 21 a lot. I'm seeing 21 a lot, right? Jennifer said 30. All right. Nicole said 20. All right. All right. All right. 90 days. Yeah. I'm seeing where you guys are headed with this. So check it out. If 30 days is all it takes, how come if I keep it going all through February, I can't keep it going the rest of the year? I'll tell you why. Because it takes longer than that. Whoever said that 30 days stuff must have been referring to some small little habit, or they were just flat out lying, or it was something to sell their book. I hope you guys are ready for this habits course this weekend. This is the way I always talk about habits. I feel like it takes about 1,000 days to create a habit, unless it's something really addictive, like you're addicted to alcohol or some hardcore drugs. You know what I mean? With stuff like that, they say you have to be inactive every day for every day you were active. So if you were active as an addict for 3 years, then you need to give every one of those 3 years back if you're going to get rid of the addiction. Okay. So what's the secret then? What's the secret? Millionaires, I humbly submit that it's about giving yourself permission to win. Somebody say, I give myself permission to win. That's an affirmation that started off this morning. I give myself permission to win. Check this out. Permission to win is as easy as a winning way of thinking, a winning way of talking, right? Some kind of, positive principle that you're going to live your thing by, right? And then a winning action. So what am I saying? I'm saying you got to think it, and then you got to kind of like really look to nourish it. And then you got to have gratitude for it. The ultimate way to show gratitude, it reminds me of the ultimate way to show you've learned something. It's an action. Gratitude ain't something you can say. Gratitude is something you got to show. It's kind of like leadership. Leadership ain't something you can say. Leadership is something you got to show. It's like love. Love ain't something you can say. Love is something you got to show. Well, what I'm saying to you is that the winning way of you thinking is you become what you think about. Somebody type this out. What you think about, you bring about. The winning positive principle is self-talk equals self-performance. Somebody say, you bring about what you think about. This is important. And then, of course, the action is giving yourself permission to win. That's exactly right. I give myself permission to win. That sounds like a small statement, don't? I give myself permission to win. You're like, who doesn't? I give myself permission to win. You're like, who doesn't say that? Who doesn't already think that way? I give myself permission to win. I'm going to tell you something. Here in America, a lot of people. You want to know why? Because most people are caught up in what we call employee mindset. Have you ever had a job? Well, listen, I guarantee you, you know about employee mindset. If you didn't see it when you looked in the mirror, let me tell you where you saw it, in the faces of your coworkers. I'm talking about employee mindset. What do I mean by that? What I'm referring to, y'all, is the idea that an employee is looking to do as little as possible and get paid as much as possible for it. They want to get paid as much as they can while doing as little as they can. Meanwhile, what's the employer mindset? Give you just enough to keep you from quitting. This is why we say all employees make minimum wage, because you're always being paid just enough to keep you from quitting. And then what do? Just enough to keep from getting fired. This is why it's not as easy as it sounds to think like a winner, talk like a winner, and then take winning action. Millionaires, positive thinking ain't easy. You hear me? Success ain't easy. Winning ain't easy. But here's the good news I got for you this morning. It can be learned. And the least executed principle that I've ever come across is the one where we begin to give ourselves permission to win. I dare you. Somebody type it in again and make it count. I give myself permission to win. I give myself permission to win. Yeah, Clarence. I give myself permission to win. Well, I give myself permission to win. Check this out. I'm talking about a college degree in positive thinking with an attitude. PTWA, positive thinking with an attitude. You hear what I'm saying to you? We're going to go post-grad from positive thinking. We're giving ourselves a PhD in permission to win. You can't think you're going to win. You can't hope you're going to win. Hope ain't a strategy. You got to decide you're going to win. Greatness is a decision. Somebody put that in the comments. Greatness is a decision. Put that in the comments. To me, when we start talking about obsessed with success, tonight at Wednesday at 5:15 p.m., this is why you need to join the text message list. We always do a master class every Wednesday night, a master class. We call it Obsessed with Success, right? And the wildest principle, the wildest precept, the most incredible aspect of this process is that most people block their own success by telling themselves they can't succeed. They hate on themselves. Do you hear what I'm saying? I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. And if I were to watch you, if I were to be a fly on the walls of your skull, if I could just watch your thoughts, I guarantee you're telling yourselves every now and then, it's okay to settle for what you can get. It's okay to settle for less than I want. If I could watch your thoughts, if I could be a fly on a wall, you would be telling yourselves every now and then, you'd give yourself an excuse like, that ain't my job. Huh? If I could be a fly on a wall, you would say things like, I would catch you saying things like, they don't pay me enough to. Huh? Huh? Or worse, they tell themselves it's okay to quit. Millionaires, what I'm trying to tell you is greatness is a decision. Do you hear me? Greatness is a decision. Greatness is a decision. Winning has to be an active permission before it becomes a living reality. You know, Napoleon Hill, probably 100 years ago at this point, or more than 100 years ago. No, it's less than, I think it's a little over 100 years, because I think he wrote Think and Grow Rich in like 1919. For those that don't know the story behind Think and Grow Rich, we're talking about a man who was deputized by the richest man in the world at that time, a guy named Andrew Carnegie, who said, look, I'm not going to pay you a dime, but what I will do is give you access to my network. And then I want you to interview them and see if you can find some patterns that we can develop into a philosophy of success. So what did he do? He studied 157 of the world's most successful entrepreneurs, and every one of them had a single trait in common. They knew they were going to succeed. They knew that winning was a decision. They knew that greatness wasn't a destination. Greatness was a decision. That greatness wasn't an emotion. Greatness was a decision. It was a flat out decision. And most of them had very little money. Most of them had no support. Several of them had no formal education. But you know what they understood? They understood that winning is a decision. Let me see you put that in the comments if you understand this. I have decided to be great. I have decided to be great. Because I'm going to tell you something, not to decide is to decide. It's like when you're talking to a prospect. If you follow me and you follow the Millionaire Minded teachings, then what you know is that when a prospect at the end says they're going to think about it, they're making a decision. They're making a decision to keep their life the same. What am I saying? I'm saying making no decision is making a decision. Not to decide is to decide. I dare you, type it out, write it in your notes. I have decided to be great. If you want the secret, that's the secret. It's an active process, y'all. It's an active process. You hear me? It's an active process. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 7 reasons that you should give yourself permission to win. 7 reasons you should give yourself permission to win. He sure did. And he agreed to that without being paid a dime. And here's the other wild part. He said, Andrew Carnegie said, you only got 60 seconds to decide. Why? Write this in your notes. The successful make up their mind quick and change it slow. The ones that are headed for poverty, they make up their mind really slow and then they change it like the wind. They change it quick. They change it quick, but not the successful. Why? Because you got not only willpower, you got not only imagination, you got not only perception, not only reason, not only memory, but the 6th faculty of the mind, you got intuition. So listen, I got 7 reasons. I got 7 reasons for you that you should give yourself permission to win. I want to pound on this point because permission to win is an active process. You're doing this with intention. So here are some components. Here are some actions that will help you be excited about giving yourself permission to win. You ready? Here's the first one. You should develop the desire to win. You should develop the desire to win. Why? Most people want to win, but they lack the true desire to accomplish it. And Think and Grow Rich, that was one of Napoleon Hill's first lessons. You have to have a burning desire to win. Now, that's different from a burning desire to a certain way you're going to win. That's different from an obsession with a certain pathway so that you remain rigid and inflexible in these times of constant change. That ain't what we're saying. We're saying that there's a million ways to get there. But check it out. Have you decided that you are going to allow yourself to acknowledge your dreams? I can't tell you how many people you ask them, what's your dream car? And the older they get, they refuse to tell you because they start feeling like it's impossible. They start to be embarrassed of their dream. Don't you know it ain't never too late? I dare you, develop the desire to win. You know, and we'll get into this in a minute. But do you know that your desire is tied to your belief in yourself? You won't even allow yourself to desire stuff if you don't believe you can get it. But I'm going to get to that in a minute. So that's the first one. Here's the second one. That's right. That's pretty good, D-Money. That's pretty good, D-Money. Desire is the starting point of all achievements. You better tell them. All right, check it out. Here's the second one. Visualize winning every time. You know, they did a out in the northeast part of the country. Maybe it was Connecticut. Maybe it was Stanford. There's this famous experiment they did with this basketball team where they separated the basketball team into 3 different cohorts. Right now, we're talking about visualizing winning every time you play. So they separated the basketball team into 3 different cohorts. One cohort was based around practicing like they normally do. Another cohort was based around practicing not at all. And then the third cohort was practicing just in their mind, visualizing, stepping up to the line, making a perfect shot, lining up their finger with the basket, making sure their knees were on point, making sure their feet were placed properly, but they did it all in their mind. Well, listen, after X amount of time of practice like this, I think it was like a month, they gathered back up. Team number 1 that had practiced normal had the same amount of improvement they always had. Team number 2 that practiced not at all, predictably, fell off a bit. Team number 3 that practiced just in their mind improved just as much, if not more, than group number 1 that practiced in their physical reality. Now, here's my question for you. When they were practicing, were they visualizing missing a shot or making it? So why the hell are you constantly obsessing over what could go wrong? Woo! Permission lets the mind's eye focus. You hear me? Here's a third one. Remember past wins. Remember your past wins, y'all. Because thinking about wins from the past help make wins in the future seem more achievable. Think about previous wins, and you're going to make future wins seem like a no-brainer. Am I making sense to somebody out there? Am I for real? Are y'all feeling me? Is this making sense? All right, here's another one. Talk win to yourself. Talk win to yourself. Talk win. You got to tell yourself you're a winner. That's why I had you type that in the affirmations the way I did. That's why I had you type that in the in the comments the way I did. Millionaires, you got to tell yourself you're a winner, because you're the only one that can do it. Oh, you're not gonna believe you're not gonna believe you're a winner till I tell you. Well, you a winner. Oh, you ain't gonna believe you're a winner till your teacher tell you. Well, you a winner. No, who you waiting on? Your mom, your dad? I apologize if they didn't have the tools that they needed to make sure that you had the kind of thought processes that you needed to have growing up. It's not your fault, but check it out. It's your responsibility. You got to talk win to yourself. Permission is granted to yourself from yourself. Here's the fifth one. You got to read about winners. Why? Why is this a reason? Because, listen to me, permission is always going to be stronger when understanding is present. You know, my kids are finally about to move back to the same city with me. I'm really excited about that. But boy, it's wild being a parent from 1,000 miles away. Because sometimes you find yourself in a position where you can't be too much of a disciplinarian because you're just a voice on the phone, right? But at the same time, you have to maintain some kind of code of conduct. You got to maintain some kind of standard, right? Well, check it out. My daughter might ask me for something she done already asked her mother for. My permission is going to be stronger when I understand what's going on. Matter of fact, my lack of permission is going to be stronger. You know what I mean? You know, there's a whole story I could tell about my daughter wearing these damn eyelashes. What the hell is wrong? It's like you got these things hanging off your face. Like, what's wrong with you? Anyway, I just drifted off. But all I'm saying is read about winners, because what happens is the more you read their stories, the more you begin to see yourself in their saga. And that's powerful because you're like, oh, I know what happens next in this movie. This is the way this always goes for entrepreneurs. Millionaires on average claim bankruptcy 7 times. All I'd heard about was the 7 revenue streams. You mean everybody fails before they win? Yeah. Well, that just gave me more power. That just gave me more confidence. That just gave me more belief. And you know what the belief allows me to do? Turn up my desire. Somebody say, the more you believe, the more you can desire. And then give me a share. The more you can believe, the more you can desire. And then give yourself a share. Clarence, Pastor Tom, I barely want to tell you why they invented them eyelashes. I barely want to tell you what profession invented these eyelashes. I barely want to tell y'all. You're going to have to Google that because this ain't that type of show. This is a family program, but it'll blow your mind. I will say that. Yeah, the more you can believe, the more you can desire. You know how you be looking up, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, Miss Wright. The more you can believe, the more you can desire. Yeah, cousin. The more you can believe, the more you can desire. Thank you, Michelle. I knew I wasn't tripping. The more you can believe, the more you can desire. That's why you want to read about these people. Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Miss Blue. All right. Where are we at? We on number 6, right? Listen to winning stuff. That's why I'm proud of you for being here this morning. Listen to winning stuff. The more you hear the sounds of winning, it's easier to understand the winning ways. And permission is always easier with repetition. Repetition does a lot for you. Don't miss this class this weekend on habits. Right now, while you're thinking about it, inbox me. Say, send me the link for Kaizen. Send me the link for Kaizen Academy. I'm gonna tell you something about habits. If I was to draw it out, right, and I'm gonna start doing more of this, right? I don't know if I typed that in right where y'all could even read my writing. But check this out, y'all. Greatness is always just a moment along this scale, right? On one side of the scale, you see 0 repetitions. On the other side, you see 100. I'm gonna tell you something. Greatness is just a moment along this scale. You repeat it enough, you're gonna be better than everybody else. And that's a fact. It's the same thing with giving yourself permission to win. If you will repeat it more than everybody else around you, your programming is going to be stronger. You got 2 types of communication. One communication that's external is called influence. This is why you should be working on your trained language. This is why you should be working on using this tool you should be treating it like a true skill. But the second kind of communication is programming. That's the internal communication. Millionaires, permission is easier when you repeat the message. Here's number 7 I got for you. Hang around winners. Hang around winners, baby. Be a winner by association. The best place to learn winning is from a winner. I can't tell you how many times my business partner has saved me from horrible decisions. I can't tell you how many times. Yeah, we got you, Michelle. We're going to send you that thing. Whoever this is in a Facebook group, I can't tell who this is, but if you inbox me, send me a link to the Kaizen Academy. I'll get it to you. Yeah, Kim, I get it to you. And everybody else who's posting in there. I can't put everybody on the screen. But yeah, I got you. Make sure you inbox me and say link. All right. But hang around winners. And then here's number 8. This is kind of like my bonus. You call it 7.5. Take winning actions, y'all. Ain't no such thing as a passive winner. You ever heard the quote, the man on top of the mountain didn't fall there? Well, that's an absolute fact. You got to climb that. You ever heard the quote? I think I sent it out through Dear Millionaire. Are y'all a member of Dear Millionaire? If you aren't, do that now. Text @MillMind to 81010 and join the world's first text message system for personal development. I sent out a quote a couple of days. Everybody's like, wow, that's good. Somebody write this down. No shortcuts exist to the top of a palm tree. No shortcuts exist to the top of a palm tree. That's an African proverb. No shortcuts exist to the top of a palm tree. What you think that means? You can't wait to win. Ain't no such thing as a passive winner. Permission is a winning action, so act like a winner. You hear me? It's the most powerful decision you can make, y'all. We about to go do our affirmations right now, speaking of that. But I just want you to know, take this serious, y'all. Take this serious, because as giving yourself permission to win begins to evolve in your psyche, you know what's going to happen? Your thinking is going to automatically adjust to setbacks. Your thinking is going to automatically adapt to disappointments. You're going to find a way to get around them, get over them. You're gonna go through them. You hear me? All of a sudden, winning, and more importantly, the thought process that leads to winning is going to become natural. Millionaires, discipline is an illusion. It's really about your vision and your habits. Millionaires, if you will just accept what I'm trying to give you this morning, your mindset's going to be different from anything you've ever experienced. Your approaches are going to start to become exclusively winner-oriented. When somebody around you says something that a loser would say, it's going to start going off like a dog whistle. You know how with a dog whistle, only the dog can hear it? You're going to find yourself where only you can hear how destructive that statement was that gentleman just made, or how self-destructive that thought process is that lady has over there. You're going to start to notice it. It's going to stand out to you like a sore thumb. And all I'm saying to you is that if you will decide, like very few people in this world have decided, you're going to change not only your life, but the lives of everybody that loves you. It's a lifestyle, though, y'all. It's a lifestyle. This is why we always say, either your mind has to expand to match your goals, or your goals will just start to shrink to match your mind. Repeat after me, millionaires. Say it like you mean it. I am so happy and grateful that money comes to me